What is up, my kings and queens? It's your man Cash is King. Today we're gonna go through a how-to for you to solo flip your vehicles using your magic slot and the current duplication method. Alright, now we had a version of this out maybe a week and a half ago that got patched right away. And so this is a new workaround using a brand new dupe glitch. Alright, and so I suggest you guys jump on this one fast. It might only last for a couple of days. And in order to start this glitch out, you're obviously going to need to get your scuba tanks glitch to your character. And you will also need to get your magic slot vehicle prepped and with you. Alright, now this vehicle is my magic slot vehicle. You will need a magic slot that is working to duplicate and to flip. This magic slot vehicle you're just going to want to go ahead and take and make sure that it's parked in the back of your MOC. Alright, now I'm using my apartment at Spanish Avenue, my mobile operations center, and we're also going to be using the auto shop. Your auto shop does need to be completely full, and even though we're bouncing out of our auto shop, we won't be using any vehicles from there. But once you get your magic slot vehicle set up, you'll just want to take it outside and destroy it so that it's in the impound. It's very important to make sure that this is a vehicle that you have in insurance before you destroy it. You do not want to destroy a street vehicle on top of your magic slot. Alright, so if you just began making one, you want to make sure that you go ahead and fully complete buying a car and testing it. But once you do, and you're all set up with your car in the impound, you can bring your MOC on down to the auto shop and get it set up just like we're duplicating vehicles. Alright, so our magic slot's in the impound, and as you can see here at Spanish Avenue, I have two cars set up. The Weevil is my donor car, and the Sultan RS that's fresh from DMO is going to be the vehicle that I want to duplicate and flip. Alright, it's very important that these vehicles are not parked in the workshop at the auto shop. You do want them in a different property. So now I'm just going to take the vehicle that I want to flip, and we're going to first duplicate it onto our magic slot. You hold up your interaction menu, go in between the auto shop doors and your MOC. You'll hit circle to bring down your interaction menu, and once you do, you should automatically see a black screen, and it will suck you into your MOC after a one moment. And you don't want to hit any buttons after you hit circle. You should just allow the game to process you on its own. Now once you do and you're inside your MOC with this vehicle, you just want to go ahead, bring up your interaction menu, and use the Secure Serve options for you to cycle through your style, and you can go ahead and begin to duplicate your tanks. Alright, now you only want to duplicate enough tanks that it's going to allow you to block the door so that you can teleport inside. Some of you guys that have a lot of experience here with the scuba tanks will know that there is a set limit of how many you're going to be able to duplicate before they start despawning. So it's just important to make sure that you have a good footing and that you're a nice distance away to allow the scuba tanks to fall and block off the door. Alright, and it might only take 2 or 3 depending on how they're laying on the ground. You might have to go back and re-hit one side. Again, if you lay too many on one side, they'll despawn, and so the other side will begin open. But you can go ahead and test it by hitting triangle. You should see yourself teleport in and get out. Once you do, you walk to the door, and when you see exit trailer, you'll just want to hit X and triangle at the same time to be forced out in the vehicle. If you're successful in getting kicked out in the vehicle, you'll just want to go ahead and take it on back to the workshop where your MOC is. And this time you got to be very careful to stay away from the auto shop door. We only want to get close enough to get the right D-pad option to pull into the MOC. And you will go ahead and hit right D-pad to pull in. You'll notice you do not get no full alert, and then you have successfully duplicated this vehicle on top of your magic slot. Alright, and so now we're just going to go ahead and get the donor vehicle into play and get ready for our quick flip. So this magic slot vehicle that's in the back of our MOC, we're just going to want to destroy it and get it placed into the impound again. You might get the cops, so you can go ahead and call Lester really fast, And once you do, you can also request out your donor vehicle. Alright, and so I have my donor vehicle stored in Spanish Avenue, same location as the vehicle I wanted to duplicate. It will be the Weevil that I have pre-set up, and it's already got all its unique components and features that I want to steal from it. Alright, and so once you call that donor vehicle in from any other location other than the auto shop, you'll just want to wait for a moment for it to appear, and it shouldn't take too long, even if you have a cooldown, maybe only a minute or so. But once it does appear, we're just going to go ahead and follow the duplication process again. So I'll hold up my interaction menu and drive in between the MOC's doors and the auto shop. I want to make sure that I am actually facing the MOC close enough that when I release the menu, it will force me in. Now I'm right in between, not necessarily touching the door, not necessarily too close to the MOC, just a nice even distance should do. And once you hit circle, you get the full alert and just wait. You do not touch no buttons, and you will be extracted into the MOC. Alright, and you can go right ahead back into duplicating your scuba tanks. You're going to have to get familiar with doing this on the rapid. You can just be spamming left to right and left to right and left to right to get them to come off. And some of you guys have been around for a while. I'm sure that you will remember this well. It's been a couple of years since it's really been an active thing, but I'm sure that with a little bit of practice on this, you'll have it no problem if you haven't done it before. Alright, so again, you'll want to go to the passenger side. You're just going to want to cycle through your outfits again and make sure that you're duplicating tanks to block off the door. It does only take about 4 or 5 tanks if they have the right type of placement, but you may need to drop more just in case. And you'll want to check. You can go ahead and drop your interaction menu and hit triangle to see if you teleport. And if you do, feel free to walk to the back of your MOC. You're going to get the exit trailer alert and hit triangle and X at the same time. You should see yourself teleport into the vehicle at the same time as you are kicked out. Now this vehicle, as you can see, it has the blank plate. It is the vehicle that's attributed to my magic slot, and so I should be able to do a quick disconnect and steal the modifications before it saves. Okay, so I'm just going to prep up my quick disconnect by hitting my PlayStation button, going into my settings, hovering over connect to the internet, double tapping my PlayStation button to come back into Grand Theft Auto 5. Alright, now at this point it's very important again that you stay away from the auto shop. You only want to get the right D-pad option at the MOC. And once you do accept that right D-pad, you'll notice that you do not get a full alert, but after about 5 seconds you'll see yourself appear in the MOC, and you want to quickly double tap and disconnect. Now you do not want that yellow save circle to fully appear. You must cut your internet before it saves that version. Alright, you'll be kicked back down into story mode, and again you can feel free to load back into another invite only session. Now once you're here, you should be able to see that you have no vehicle on the map with you. If you call Moore's Mutual Insurance, it's still going to have the original vehicle that you started with, the one that you wanted to duplicate. So for me, that was the Sultan RS. As you can see, it was there. I went ahead and requested it out of my MOC after I claimed it. And once this vehicle does appear, you can feel free to take it into LSC to check your work. Now in first person, I can see already that the trim and the lights were added, but I went ahead and went into LSC anyways, just to show on the video that it was successful in actually being flipped. And when I pulled in, first sign was the wheels losing the tire design, so I know that I passed activation. If I go into respray and I check the trim options, I should see that nothing is selected. I also check the accent, and you can see nothing is selected, so I was successful in passing the upgrades. The only thing I noticed is that the plate did not pass. I still have a blank magic slot plate, and I'm not quite ready to keep this vehicle in this state yet, so I went ahead and exited to get a save, pulled it back into LSC, and while it's on my magic slot, I'm going to make sure that I get all of my upgrades for free, and also do a quick flip on the rims so that I can re-add the activation and keep it as an activator vehicle. Alright, and so once you purchase all of your body modifications, you can do your wheels, and if you want to make an in-game activator like me, you'll just go into the wheel type, go into sport, go down through stock rims, and rim number 26 is the split 6. And after you purchase that rim, you'll back out to the tire options, go in through custom tire design, and when you purchase it, double tap and disconnect your internet. Now you get the disconnected alert, and you will also be thrown back down into storing mode again. You can feel free to load right back into another invite only session, and once you do, the vehicle should be there with you on the map with all of its modifications saved. Alright, so now we just want to go ahead and get this vehicle off of our magic slot, so we're going to have to get prepped to do another duplication. So we want to get this vehicle out of our MOC and get our donor vehicle placed back there, or whatever vehicle you're going to use to lose. You can use the Sanchez at this point if you'd like. However, you will be still in the street plate that comes off of that Sanchez, so if you're making modded cars, you're probably going to want to get custom plates. For me, I'm just going to go ahead and call that donor vehicle out. I've already stolen all the upgrades from it, and I built it just so that I could pass the modifications off to this car in the first place. Since I didn't get the license plate and I know that I'll get it from duplicating, I'm just going to go ahead and use it so that I can get that final piece added to this car. Alright, so that once I called that weevil out that I used from before, I just went ahead and took it into my MOC, accepted the full alert, and pushed my magic slot out of the way so that this could now be stored there. Alright, and since this is the vehicle that we want to duplicate over, I'm going to go ahead and take it outside, and we'll begin with the process all over again. So I'm just going to destroy it so that it is in Moore's Mutual Insurance. You can feel free to go ahead and get in the MOC and drive it on back down into your workshop. And so now I have my magic slot safely stored inside of Spanish Avenue. And again, I'm just going to be parking the MOC back to the doors of the workshop. I'm going to make sure that I have enough distance that I get the alert for the MOC, but that I'm not too crowded by the door. Alright, and so once I got here, I went ahead and called that Sultan RS out that's on my magic slot, since that's the vehicle that I am wanting to currently duplicate. You can see that it now has a blank plate because it is still on my magic slot. However, when I go hold my interaction menu, and this time when I'm in between the auto body shop door and the MOC, as I hit circle and wait for it to suck me in, the moment that it does, the plate will change to that weevil that I have just destroyed. So this vehicle will no longer be on my magic slot. This will be a clean version for you to keep for yourself. You are not done yet, however, at this point. You do have to re-register back into your Securo serve and start to duplicate tanks to block off the doors so that we can teleport and extract this vehicle one more time. And once you're ready to teleport, you can go ahead and walk to the door, hit X and triangle on the exit trailer alert. It should teleport you into the car and force you outside. And as you can see, I now have the love cache plate that came off of the Beetle, and this vehicle is ready to be saved. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it back to the MOC and be careful that I don't get sucked into the mod shop. I'll hit right D-pad and I should not get a full alert, but once it pulls you back in, you can feel safe that this vehicle has been saved for you, and it will now be a version for you to hold on to without reverting back to stock. Alright, and so I went ahead and took this vehicle on up to Spanish Avenue and just pushed my magic slot vehicle back into my MOC so that I could begin to do another flip and rinse and repeat on these vehicles. Alright, and it's always very important to make sure that your magic slot vehicle is in the back of your MOC when you begin this, and that your donor vehicles or vehicles that you want to duplicate are parked somewhere outside of the auto shop. Now, as you can see I have the clean version here that has just been fully flipped, and I still have the original version back off in the corner. So now that I'm complete and I am finished, I just always like to make sure to buy my marker vehicle back to my MOC. Alright, and so I went ahead and purchased my pink Karen Rebel back to the magic slot, and I had an original version left over as I didn't duplicate back over to it. I wanted to be able to show the difference in the two for the video, but after I was done, I went ahead and just purchased the Sanchez over its location so that I only have one version. Alright, and so I hope that you guys have been able to follow along, and that this method will help you out and be able to clean them vehicles a little bit easier solo without using give cars to friends and have to get glitched out. As always, be safe. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.